When mentioning the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, what comes to mind? Perhaps most of us agree that the highlight of North Korea lies in its amazing mystery and closeness. North Korean society has many strange rules, and most of them are specific to women. North Korean women are not allowed to drive. They are not even allowed to take birth control. It sounds crazy, but it is completely true. In this country, without keeping you waiting any longer, let us explore 10 strange rules that North Korean women must follow. Rule number 10. Pleasure group comes from virgins. North Korean defectors reveal secrets about the high-end adult entertainment industry established more than a decade ago to entertain top leaders. According to a shocking story posted on news.com, the Pyongyang government established a pleasure group called the Kippon-ju, made up of virgins to serve senior leaders, often considered the elite of North Korea. The pleasure group consists of young girls, mainly around the age of 13, including students. They have been carefully selected by the military since the 2000s. North Korean girls from the age of 9 will be screened. Those with good-looking faces will be followed in the following years. At the age of 13 or 15, they will be tested again before being sent away. All girls in the entertainment team must meet some strict criteria: virginity, a clean background, a height of 1.65 meters or more, no scars or defects on the body, and a voice that must be feminine and soft. The young women's training may take place in Hong Kong, where they undergo professional massage training, or they may be sent elsewhere to study singing, dancing and music theory. The entertainment team is divided into 3 specialized service groups: sex, massage, and singing/dancing/music theory. North Korean defectors said the entertainment team operates very secretly, almost isolated from society. For the singing/dancing/music theory service group, young women sometimes must be half naked to entertain guests. Even the young women's families were not informed where their children were sent. Pyongyang only said they were selected for important government projects. From the moment they caught the army's eye, these girls were not allowed to see or talk to their relatives. In 2010, a North Korean woman named Myung, who defected to South Korea, told her story to Marie Claire magazine. She said that when she was 15 years old, 2 soldiers wearing blue uniforms broke into her classroom and searched the whole room. Myung was then called to go with the 2 soldiers. During the personal and medical test, she was examined very carefully in the gynecological section to see if she was still a virgin or not. Number 9. Prohibited from driving. We are no longer strangers to the image of girls driving cars on the road, but in North Korea, even if you go all over the country, you cannot find a single girl who knows how to drive because the government simply prohibits it. Deeply influenced by feudal history, North Korean women are still considered unintelligent and lower-class members of the country's society. Things like phones, computers or the internet don't seem to be for women, and of course, driving a car is also a luxury. Even if this ban is lifted, it seems unlikely that the number of women who can drive in North Korea will increase. North Korea has a population of 25 million people, but the entire territory has only about 30,000 vehicles, of which only about 5,000 are cars. This statistic confirms that North Korea has become the country with the lowest car ownership rate in the world. Most cars are owned by high-ranking officials or the military. That's why it is very difficult for a North Korean woman to have access to a car. Number 8. Forbidden from riding bicycles in the city. This ban was issued by the late President Kim Jong-il in the 1990s after hearing the news that Oh Hae-young, daughter of General Oh Duk-riel, Deputy National Defense Commission, passed away. She was hit by a car while cycling in central Pyongyang. Under this ban, No women are allowed to ride bicycles in North Korean cities. In addition, a bicycle registration system was established, requiring the display of numbers on each registered vehicle. Those who violate regulations in Pyongyang are often fined between 1.5 to 0.8 or 0.4 USD. Repeat violators may have their vehicle confiscated. According to educational programs on television, a woman wearing a skirt and riding a bicycle is considered contrary to socialist norms. Many signs in public areas have also been erected stating that women wearing skirts to ride bicycles is an action against customs. North Korean women are truly miserable people. When poverty means they do not have cars or motorbikes to travel, the only means of transportation is a bicycle, which is not allowed to use. Number 7. Condoms and sanitary pads are luxuries. It's hard to believe this situation, but most North Korean citizens are unaware of the existence of condoms and sanitary napkins. The reason is that the North Korean government has banned the import of these products. Combined with its population growth a few decades ago, these products appeared on the black market, but were not very popular. Now it is almost impossible to buy condoms because the citizens of this country do not need them. Sanitary napkins are also never found in convenience stores in North Korea. It may sound surprising, but women here still must use cloth towels when they have their period, then wash them and reuse them. North Korean women are also not educated about pregnancy prevention measures. The North Korean government wants North Korean women to have more children to increase their population, supplement their military force and provide cheap labor. Despite widespread poverty, this policy has been encouraged for the past 50 years. For these reasons, North Korean women give birth a lot. Each family usually has 3 to 7 children. When a woman becomes pregnant, she has only one choice: to give birth to the baby. Aborting the baby can land the woman in prison and cause her to be severely discriminated against by society. Number 6. Costumes. Fashion is a category where the line between beautiful and ugly, appropriate or inappropriate, is very fragile, depending on each person's perspective. However, in North Korea, beauty or ugliness is not a matter of concern because the government has clearly stipulated which costumes can be worn and which are prohibited. People and tourists coming here will not have the opportunity to debate or give opinions. The only way is to conform. In North Korea, jeans are considered the embodiment of world imperialism. North Korean women are banned from wearing all types of jeans. Anyone who violates this rule will have to pay a very high price, such as being imprisoned for 7 to 10 years or being forced to work in slave camps. Not only are North Korean girls heavily fined by the authorities, but wearing jeans on the street is also considered a reckless act. They will be discriminated against and brutally beaten by socialist fanatics. Number 5. Breadwinner. Every day, gentlemen in North Korea are busy going to state agencies, being paid a salary of 20,000 to 60,000 won, an amount nearly enough to buy 10 kilograms of rice, which costs about 25,000 won. You didn't hear wrong. Although they are always considered inferior to men in North Korean society, women are the main breadwinners supporting families in this country. Like in many other Asian countries, North Korea is traditionally a male-dominated society, with men having a decisive role. Looking at the workforce, North Korean men make up the overwhelming majority. Looking at the leadership, we can only see a few very poor female faces, all of whom are related to leader Kim Jong-un, such as his sister Kim Yo-jong or his aunt Kim Kyung-hwae. Before, North Korean women served housework, waiting for their husbands to bring home money. But things gradually changed when North Korea's economy began to move towards a market economy. Statistics from the North Korean Institute for National Unification an agency under the South Korean government, show that the income of North Korean women accounts for more than 70% of households in this country, mainly through trafficking sold on the black markets. These markets are not officially recognized, but have flourished in recent years. Meanwhile, most working agents in North Korea are trapped in state agencies, which are paid extremely low wages. Another large part must serve in the military. The economic burden, therefore, falls entirely on the shoulders of wives and mothers. Number 4. Hairstyle. North Korea has a complete set of beauty laws, and there are dozens of provisions regarding hairstyles that women are forced to comply with. The tradition of long, neat hairstyles is often favoured and considered beautiful, while hairstyles that are too ostentatious or personalized may be considered inappropriate. The North Korean government only allows women to have exactly 15 hairstyles, and they are not allowed to dye their hair, no matter what color. If your hair does not conform to the standards, you will be imprisoned for subverting the socialist regime. Hairstyle and dress codes are strictly enforced. Illustrations of the 15 approved hairstyles for men and women are publicly displayed at hair salons in this country. Recently, in August of last year, North Korean police carried out a campaign to prevent unsocial practices, including finding and detaining people with hairstyles not approved by the state. According to South Korea, up to 7,000 people were arrested and imprisoned for this crime. Number 3. Occupation of women. In North Korea, women often face many limitations in studying. Their career choices and advancement opportunities are almost zero in a society that favors men over women. Women are born into a role meant for manual work and child-rearing, with society and family considering it appropriate for them. Most scientific, engineering or management professions do not include North Korean women. This is not a rule introduced by Kim Jong-un's government, but it is an implicit rule in the country's society. Many smart and talented girls have been pressured by their families or have received unpleasant views from society, leading them to drop out of school early. Additionally, there is a painful trend of early marriage. A girl's parents will marry their daughter off at any time, even while she is still in school, to get the bride price. Once married, the girl's future is considered uncertain. Of course, not all women in North Korea experience this restriction. There are women who overcome barriers and can succeed in many different fields. However, this often requires them to overcome social, family, and sometimes political barriers. Number 2. Getting married. As just mentioned, the marriage of girls in North Korea is often decided by their parents, and even the Korean government has clear regulations for weddings that make anyone feel confused. First, regarding social traditions, marriage in North Korea often involves significant family intervention. The families of both sides discuss and make important decisions, including choosing a life partner, organizing the wedding ceremony, and covering the costs. No matter what the daughter thinks, as long as both families reach an agreement, the girl is considered married. Love is a luxury in North Korea, with girls' parents often looking to wealthy families to marry off their daughters. In addition to family and social rules that prevent girls from having freedom, the North Korean government also provides legal regulations for couples during wedding ceremonies. Weddings in North Korea do not have a flower toss. Instead, couples bring flowers to the monument of the late leader Kim Il-sung to pay their respects. As soon as the wedding ceremony ends, wedding photos are also taken at the late leader's monument. There are taboos that couples cannot get married on April 15th or February 16th because those are the birthdays of the late leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il. If it were you, would you want to get married in North Korea? Number 1. Must give birth to a son. This rule shows the backwardness of North Korean society, and women continue to be its victims. In North Korea, there is a long-standing concept that having a son in the family is considered important and given priority. In other words, North Korean society is one in which men hold power. Therefore, giving birth to a son is the #1 priority and is even considered mandatory for wives. Science has long proven that giving birth to a boy or a girl is not decided by the woman alone, but in a backward society like North Korea, not being able to give birth to a son is completely a woman's fault, and the consequences are severe. When a couple does not have a son, especially families with only one heir, the failure to give birth to a son is considered the end of the family line. The wife will be tortured and punished, and divorce is likely. According to estimates by the Korean Population Agency, up to 2 million North Korean women are regularly abused, and 1/3 of them are abused because they cannot give birth to a son for their husband. The North Korean government even accepts that not being able to give birth to a son is a reason for divorce, and after divorce, a woman will receive almost no property. In general, North Korean women must live a very miserable life when they have to shoulder the burden of money and live under a series of regulations and hidden principles from both the government and society. Perhaps that's why North Korean women are more likely to flee the country than men.